Welcome back to Keys Prop Hunt. On today, we'll be looking for some props that we can hit on. Let's get into it. So starting out here, we had a crazy day yesterday. Quite a few home runs. Alvarez, Machado, Marte, Suzuki, to name a few. I think it was around like 12 total. And then we did pretty good on the hit side too, outside of Quan and I want to say Grisham, maybe. I think I was leaning him more so home run than hit. We did pretty good on that side too. So let's do it again today. Hold up here. That Pittsburgh and New York game, they had who was it? Oh, that game, oh, it must have got canceled. Never mind. I was about to say they had Warren and Chandler there, but I'm guessing it got rained out. Okay, starting out here, let's look at the left-hand side. You got Lorenzen, home versus Washington. Definitely got some capable lefties in that lineup. Levator at the Angels. Imai versus Miami. Rocker versus the White Sox. Castillo versus Cincinnati. Let's look at Lorenzen. So really struggles with both sides. More so the left hand side here. Almost 11% barrel versus lefties. Looked okay against San Fran. Had a good game against the Dodgers, which was very surprising, but they were kind of slumping before the All-Star break. Only lasted 4 and 1/3 against Miami. Minnesota got to him for a couple. Decent game there. And Pittsburgh shelled them at the middle of June there. So let's look at it. So he's throwing this changeup for the most part. 23% usage on the four seamer, about cutter a little bit, sinker too. Throws a bunch of different variations of fastball. Looks like he's getting swing and strike on this changeup, so I'll look there. So Ruiz looks pretty good. He looks pretty good almost every single day, but they do not use him much at all. I think he may have been in the lineup yesterday. I think I brought him up yesterday too. But whiff wise, 23% for Garcia, 17% for Ruiz, Nunez 23%, 20% for Lyle, 29% for Wood. Chase Wood looks the best there. Let's go recent. Wood still looks pretty good, chase wise. Whiff not so much, 37%. Garcia 27%. Okay. Looks about the same as it was looking. Ruiz and Lau looking the best there as far as whiff and K on that changeup. He's getting some on this slider too, so let's look at that. He's barely using it though, but he could throw that in there when he's ahead in the count. So all look about mid here outside of Ruiz again. 294 batting average there for Garcia though. So not bad. 85% zone contact, so I do like that for him. And then these fastballs, so this four seamer, let's look at that first. You got Wood, Abrams, Garcia. Let's go last 10 at bats. Wood, Garcia, Abrams. Zone contact wise, Wood and Abrams look pretty good. 88% for Garcia. All their sweet spots look pretty good there. And let's go this cutter. So Garcia looks pretty good there, batting 600, 811. Woba, 757 for Abrams. Wood, 386. All these he's pitching to contact though, so I'm looking for their Woba, and batting average would be pretty decent. 500 for Garcia there, 762 Woba. Surprised me yesterday they had him in the lineup against a lefty, but he'll be in there for sure today against Lorenzen. Do like the whiff there. So Garcia has looked pretty good here. I mean, he looked mid on the changeup and slider as far as his whiff and K, but I'm not necessarily worried about Lorenzen throwing something that can cause him to swing and miss. So honestly, now I'm looking at this. Well, against the pitch mix as a whole, I don't know which ones he's faced as of late. He is 0 for 10 when you look at it as a whole, 40% strike. But he looks good when you look at each pitch. They all look like they're king, honestly. Let's go those three together and see how he's doing instead of the. Cause those are the three that he's pitching a contact on, and he looks pretty good. I didn't really see it. I think the sweeper and the slider, these secondary pitches, he's not looking so good on. Abrams still looked good though, so honestly, I want to say Abrams for a hit here. Garcia looks good against the four seamer cutter and sinker that he is pitching a contact on, so I'll say him for a hit there too. And from the right hand side, I want to more so attack him. I mean, he's given up 10 homers to lefties. And so you can go the normal Wood, Abrams, and Garcia there, in which they should get to him. Um, However, I'm doing this because I more so think Mead is due, and he may be in the lineup today. He can hit right-handed pitching. I don't know why they keep platooning him. 10 home runs against this pitch mix, 16 extra base hits. So, as I said, he can hit right-handed pitching. If they do have him in the lineup today, I do like Mead to go yard today. He had about 3 or 4 hits yesterday. Can hit this cutter, 40% fly ball for Lorenzen. No homers to it yet, but if you're giving up a 40% fly ball at some point, it's leaving the yard. Also, this sweeper, Mead looks decent here, 36% fly ball against it, 25% home run to fly ball ratio, one barrel there, and 18% pull air. But I just got a feeling if he's in the lineup today, I feel like, they're just trusting him against right-handed pitching, which they should anyway. The numbers are there. And then I'd like him to go yard if he is. 5 extra base hits against this four-seamer as well. But that's for that. And then we're going. Oh, they switched it up. So it is McCullers on the other side that will bulk relief there. When I was initially looking at it, they didn't have an opener. Off the top of my head there against McCullers, once he comes in, I like McCarthy for a hit. And then either McCarthy or Moniak to go yard there against McCullers. I can't show you now since they did switch up to an opener, but I did like those two. And then left hand side, Imai, two-pitch guy. He's very shaky. Can look good at sometimes, like he did against at Detroit on the 25th of June. Looked okay against Cleveland. They're not really a good offense. Only lasted a third against 2/3 against Kansas City there. Got shelled against Minnesota, got shelled against Washington, so he can get hit. Really struggles with the left-hand side. Throws a slider and throws a four-seamer. We'll go hits first. So this slider is the pitch that he is missing bats with, so I'll look there first. Hicks looks pretty good here as far as his whiff and his K. Mac isn't bad either, 23% and 22% K. The rest, not so much. I mean, 26% whiff here for Edwards, 28% K, 95% zone contact for hits against this slider. So that is the slider. I will get them on the same sample size. So Hicks still looks good as far as the 200 batting average, but I'm not necessarily looking for him to hit it. I'm looking for him not to strike out against it. And Edwards looks pretty good here as of late. And his chase rate looks pretty good. And then this four-seamer, as I mentioned, two-pitch guy. So you're looking four-seamer, you're looking slider. Mac looks good here. Edwards looks good here. Hicks looks good here. Um, let's go last 10. So Mac, Conan looks good. Hicks looks good. Edwards looks good. Stowers looks good there too. Um, I think I like Hicks the most. He's leading off there to make contact. So I like him for a hit there. Edwards isn't bad at all. I don't like necessarily the 70% zone contact. However, he did look good against that slider as far as his whip and K. So I could say that you could ride Edwards there, possibly for a hit too. Um, Mac didn't look bad at all. I think he's batting like seventh or eighth maybe. I more so want to look at him for power. He did homer yesterday. Possibly could go hit with him there. He didn't look bad against the slider at all either. Um, I mean, you can go either or here with the four seamer and the slider. So I'll look at both. Um, 44% pull air there for Hicks, so that's pretty good. 44% fly ball too. Two home runs there for Conan, so that looks good. 75% hard hit rate. Stowers doesn't look bad here either. 83% hard hit rate, 66% fly ball. However, he does have a couple strikeouts there. He's more so all or nothing batter. And then Mac looks good there. Zero strikeouts, 60% fly ball, 80% hard hit rate. I will do it across events, so we don't have to necessarily worry about strikeouts, exactly like what they're doing when they do make contact. So still about the same here. Conan looks good. Stowers looks good. And then Mac looks good too. And then I will look at this slider. So slider, Mac looks good again. Stowers looks good. Where did Conan go? Conan not necessarily getting fly ball, but he still does have two extra base hits there. I want to say he can go any of those three. Mac did just go yard yesterday. He could again. I think he's more so a platoon guy. So he's only in there for right-handed pitching. So he could go yard again. Stowers looks good against this four-seamer and the slider. So I will say that he can go yard. And then Conan looks better against a four-seamer than he does the slider as far as his fly ball here, but he still does have two extra base hits against his slider, so I believe he's in play too. Okay, Rocker's not good. Let me look at him. Um, Houston got to him 5 2/3, 8 hits, 7 earned, 3 home runs. Detroit got to him there 4 1/3, 5 hits, 3 earned. Um, had a good game against Toronto, but they really don't have lefties that he struggles with. Miami, he bulk relief, 5 hits, 2 earned there. And then Minnesota got to him pretty good there too. Uh, we can look here more so for power. I don't. I mean, honestly, Antanasi's pretty good, so I will say that. Let's look at him as far as like a hit, but power wise, I'm looking at Murakami and Colson Montgomery. Braden Montgomery's been hitting home runs too, though, I will say. So this slider is his whiff pitch, in which Antanasi looks pretty good here. 13% K, 13% whiff, 19% chase. Braden Montgomery, and Benintendi don't look bad here as far as their chase. And then Romo, not bad for Murakami there, 35%. However, the K and whiff are quite bad there. So that is the slider, and then he's pitching to contact with his sinker. So looking for an average here. Antanasi 289, Montgomery 308, 250 for Benintendi there. 95% zone contact for Braden Montgomery, 89% for Antanasi. Benintendi drops off a little bit there. Let's put them on the same sample size. So in the last 10 at bats, Montgomery 300, 425, Wolba there. Where'd Osmanasi go? 200, so not so good there. 100% zone contact though. 62% sweet spot, so I feel like he's getting unlucky there. The whiff is fairly low too. I'll look here to see if he's underperforming that. So he should have a 355 estimated Wolba there. I will look that full year to see if it is some variance. Oh, that's what I was looking at first. 289 for the year, 200 in the last 30, not 30, but last 10 at bats. Not bad there. I mean, Cutter 261 for Antanasi. Good sample size there. Colson Montgomery looks pretty good there. Let's put them on the same sample size. So Teal looks pretty good there. Peters looks pretty good. Murakami looks pretty good. And Antanasi looks pretty good. Honestly, Murakami's chase is surprising me here. I would expect him to be chasing. I'm gonna ride Antanasi there at the top of the lineup, lead off against Rocker. 304 against the pitch mix as a whole. Yeah, I like Antanasi here to get a hit. And as I mentioned, Murakami's chase rate isn't bad there at all, but he's more so someone that I look at for power, so we can look at the power side. Um, Giving up a high fly ball with this slider, low home run fly ball, but at some point, it's due. Maybe pop-ups though, because I see this estimated WOBA is not high at all. Some fly ball with this sinker too. Slick sinker. So Romo some barrel there, Benintendi too. Surprising Murakami has no pull air, 33% barrel though. So that's about 2 barrels on 6 events. 1 home run against it. 2 for Benintendi there. Let's put them all on the same sample size. Let's go there. It's not bad for Colson Montgomery, 80% hard hit against this sinker. All about in the 30% range for a fly ball. Who's actually homered is Murakami and Montgomery. I feel like at some point Murakami's due and Rockers somebody to do it against. Very low fly ball on this cutter though. I'll still look at it. Um, so Colson Montgomery looks good there against this cutter. 3 homers in his last 10 events. Murakami has 2 home runs here too. So not bad by either one of them. Hold on, let me go last 10 at bats. So Teal has homered against this 3 times in his last 10 at bats. Did I not see him on the... What? Oh, that's weird. He's disappearing when I filter. Go PA. Yeah, that's very weird. But Teal, so I found a bug live there. Teal has 3 homers against this cutter in his last 10 at bats. So he's in play here too. I know he's been pretty hot, but he's not really giving up fly ball to that cutter. So I will look four seam here to see what they're doing. I'm pretty sure Teal is a lefty. So Antanasi with some power here against this 4-seamer, 2 home runs against it. Murakami just strikes out a bunch, so that's why I'm going to take event just to see when he actually hits the ball. what is he doing? 75%. So 3 fly balls in his last 4 events there. So that's what I'm saying. You gotta factor in with the filter there. You gotta factor in like who strikes out and who doesn't. I mean, you can go over at bats, but you will see like them have less events than someone that's not necessarily striking out. So if you want it to be on a event level and just see what they've done when they actually put the ball in play, then go with batted ball events for the unit there. But Murakami in his last 10 events, 30% barrel, 30% pull air, 70% hard hit rate, 80% fly ball. I don't mind him for a home run here. I feel like he's due out of all of them. And then we'll go opposite side. Schultz here, left-handed pitcher. Looked okay against the Athletics. They're not really good against left-handed pitching. Boston got to him. Only lasted 4 1/3 against Baltimore. San Fran got to him. And then Seattle, surprisingly, got to him for 3 earned there too. A home run in each of them, 2 against Boston. So he can give up a long ball here. First, we'll look at hits, and then we can look at the home run. Is missing bats with this sweeper, so I will look there first. So not a lot of events for them. So this is what the last N and units are for. So you can go across seasons here. Okay, so width wise, Langford lists the best here against this sweeper. 0K, 50% K for Jung, 27% width. The rest of them pretty much about the same. Yeah, so on the sweeper, I will say that Langford looks the best there. And then it looks like he's pitching this cutter, not cutter, but sinker into contact. So I will look there. Berger looks good. Fosco looks good. Langford looks good. Jung looks good too. I will look to see what their estimated wobas are. So all of them look pretty good. 3 home runs there for Berger in his last 10 at bats versus a sinker. Fosco looks good. Langford and Jung are playing over their estimated WOBA there. I will note that though. But the top of the lineup, I mean, I expect that top of the lineup to get to Schultz. They have been getting to left-handed pitching too, so we'll say that. And he's not giving up an average here for this four-seamer, but not necessarily missing bats. So want to look here. Langford looks good. Fosco looks good. Higashioka looks good. Berger drops off. Jung looks okay. Does have a K rate there, as does Langford. Now that I noticed that, Langford does too. But I want to say any of these righties can get to Schultz here. The top of the lineup, you got Langford, you got Jung. I'm more so when I'm looking at the range. I'm more so looking at Jung and Langford. Fosco's been someone that can hit left-handed pitching too. He's a platoon guy, so you do have to be careful with that because they do pinch hit them when they do bring in a righty. And then Berger's more so someone for power, so I'm not going to necessarily say him for a hit there. So that's on the hit side. And then we can look at home runs. So looks like he's allowing the sinker to get lifted as well as with this sweeper. So we'll look at both of those. More so this sweeper is getting lifted. So let's go last 10. So 2 home runs there for Jung. Let's go with Vince rather than. So he has 8 events. Most of these home runs are from the 2023 season, so he hasn't really seen this much. He had 1 event and this year a ground out versus Brian King, and then 2025 Tyler Gilbert, he flew out against it, but that's a good launch angle against the sweeper. Okay, Langford hasn't seen him much recently at all. 2025 double against Logan Allen, home run against Peralta in 2024. So that's the thing with the filter. When you go last, whatever batted ball events or at bats or plate appearances, it does cross over to whenever they had those events being seasons. So none of them have really seen it recent. I feel like you very rarely do you see a sweeper from a lefty to a righty. I feel like that's why it's getting hit here. I'm not sure why he's throwing that to righties. However, when Jung has seen it, he's looked pretty good. 50% barrel, 25% pull air, 75% hard hit rate, and then a 62% fly ball. So he's in play for a homer there. And then I will look at this sinker because he is giving up fly ball to it, as well as the estimated WOBA. So this is the sinker in which Berger looks pretty good here. Home run earlier this year, and then two in 2025. Fosco has a homer here, 70% hard hit rate. Higashioka, Langford has two extra base hits there. Oh, don't look bad. Let me see if any of these are this season. So yeah, Berger has one this season. Fosco and Higashioka. Diaz has one too. Higashioka has seen it the most though. I kind of want to say Berger here. I went into it thinking Langford because I haven't seen his name in some time as far as a homer, at least from what I can think of. But only 5 events for Berger there. Still 40% fly ball on 10 events, so not bad. I don't think Fosco does it. If I was gonna say Fosco, I would say Langford. Langford doesn't look too good here though. Only up what 20% fly ball. Couple singles there. I think Berger went yard yesterday too. Oh no, I don't think Fosco does it to be honest. 30% barrel for Berger. I mean, you can double back with Berger there. I mean, he did go yard yesterday, but he can't do it again. Um, and then I say behind Berger, I'd go Langford. That's more of a feeling one than anything. What is he homering against? Oh, the four seamer, which he has given up one against, but does only the best there. But yeah, Berger, and then uh, Langford there. You got Castillo. He's at home versus Cincinnati. This is not necessarily a ballpark that I would like to attack for homers in, just because it's really a pitcher's ballpark. Castillo's not really good, so I'll go through it really quick, see if there's anything there. So he's throwing this four seamer for the most part, giving up a bunch of fly ball against it. So I'll look there. 50% pull air for Blade on his last 10 events, 40% fly ball. No homers there. Homer for Friedel. One extra base hit there against for De La Cruz. 0% fly ball for him though. He is hitting it hard though, 80%. And then I'll expand this, see if we can catch something. Not really. I mean, two extra base hits there for De La Cruz, 30% fly ball for Blade, 10% barrel for De La Cruz too. And then he's giving up homers to this slider. Fly balls, okay. Can look at it. So this year wise, it looks like low and Blade. I will get them on the same sample size. Blade, 20% barrel, 60% pull air, 40% fly ball, a couple extra base hits there, one home run, low, two home runs there. De La Cruz has some extra base hits here too, being two, one home run, 40% fly ball, 25% home run fly ball ratio, 60% hard hitter rate as well. Um, I don't really trust Low, so I'd say that either it's Eli or Blade here to go yard against. I will look at this changeup though. He has given up two home runs, but the estimated WOBA isn't there. So it looks like De La Cruz has some barrel here. Very low fly ball rate again though. Two extra base hits. It's low for Blade too though. So yeah, either Eli or Blade here to go yard. Then I will look at the opposite side. Burns struggles more so with lefties. Another home run spot, but more so reach, just because this ballpark, is hard to hit it out, but it can happen. But this four seamer, 32% fly ball, six home runs against it. Um, Fastball hitters and four seam fastball hitters in this lineup, more so lean Canzone or Rally. Canzone looks pretty good here, 20% barrel, 30% fly ball, so low fly ball in his last 10 events, one home run against it. Homer there for Young too. So Canzone two in his last 20 events, four for Emerson, Young two there. So not bad. And then this slider is giving up fly ball too. I think this is a low scoring game, but this is more so just because these guys are giving up arrow, and they should see a bunch of lefties on both sides. Canzone looks good here. Two home runs against the slider, 60% pull air, three extra base hits, 559 estimated WOBA. So I'll say here I'd like to go Canzone to go yard against Burns. All right, left-hand side, you got Phillips. More so looking for Alvarez here, as we did last night. It's only four at most lefties in this Houston lineup, which is what Phillips struggles with. So firstly, we'll look at this splitter in which he's getting whiffs with. Jordan, not bad there at all. Let me go full season just to see. 18% K, 25% whiff, so I do like that. And then this curveball, he's also getting whiffs with 9% K, 22% whiff, so that looks good there. We'll get these guys on the same sample size just to see like across years. So Jordan looks pretty good there. 15% whiff, 0% K, splitter, 20% K, 25% whiff. So that looks good. He's pitching to contact with the sinker, in which Jordan looks pretty good there. 500 batting average, 10% whiff, 100% zone contact. Looks good on the year too. He's missing some bats with the sweeper, so I'll look here too. 10% whiff for Jordan, and then 7% K. So I like that as well. And then he's barely throwing this four seamer, but when he throws it, it's getting hit. And then 346 for Alvarez there. And then he has looked better as of late with the four seamer compared to like what he did about a week ago. He started to hit that. So I do, before I go to home run, I do like Jordan Alvarez for a hit here. And then I will look on the power side as well. So it's more so at 22% fly ball there, not bad against a sinker. The sweeper is getting lifted, so 7 fly balls for that. No homers yet though, but that can change in Houston. A bunch of this stuff is getting hit hard, and Houston's a good ballpark to go yard in. I'll look at this. I'll look at this sinker, and then I'll look at that sweeper too. So 24% barrel across 25 events for Alvarez against this sinker. 4 home runs, 6 extra base hits. So I do like that. I will look recent. So 3 home runs in his last 10 at bats, 50% barrel across 8 events. So that looks pretty good there. And then this sweeper, 33% barrel, 44% pull air, 1 home run against it. 2 extra base hits there for Lamont Wade though. If you want to go outside of Alvarez to get to Phillips. Okay, so that's against Phillips. You got Amai on the other side, in which we looked at. Yeah, I'm tripping. We looked at Imai, um, and then Buehler at Atlanta. So he gives up more so an average to lefties. Can give up some power to lefties. So missing bats with this knuckle curve for the most part. Let's go full year first. So full year wise, it looks like they're, oh, never mind. It's not enough data there against this knuckle curve. You don't see it that much. Um, so last 10 at bats, they all look pretty bad against this knuckle curve, to be honest. He may use that a decent amount though, but he honestly hasn't looked good himself. Toronto, horrible offense, got him out of there in 2 innings. Arizona, another horrible offense, got him out of there in 5 innings, 7 earned there, 2 home runs. The Cubs got to him, 9 earned in 4 innings. Pitched decent against the Dodgers at home, but that is a pitcher's ballpark. And then the Rangers got to him for 1 there, 5 and 1/3. 30% walk versus Toronto is crazy. So I'm not really worried about that knuckle curve. He could throw it, in which Albies and Smith probably look the best at as far as whiff, but not really tripping about that. I will look at this slider since he is getting some whiff there too. So Harris looks okay, 20%. Albies looks good again there. I feel like they're going to get to Buehler here. You got this 4-seamer that he's throwing. So Baldwin looks pretty good there. He's turned it on as of late too, being Baldwin. 600 batting average, 400 for Olsen, 300 for Harris. Their zone contact all looks similar. Their sweet spot goes to Baldwin and Olsen. And then this changeup. So Harris doesn't look bad there. Olsen looks okay, 300. Baldwin doesn't have the batting average to show for it, but the zone contact and the sweet spot are there for him. Both of those he is pitching to contact. I will look at this cutter too because he has a low batting average, but the whiff isn't there at all. So Olsen, Harris, and Albies look good there against that. I lean Harris here probably. I'd say I'd trust with the hit there. Honestly, probably the top of that lineup. I'd probably go Olsen 2, and then Baldwin has looked okay here against this pitch mix, but I feel like this is the second time that they have seen Buehler, and they should be able to get to him. Home run wise, he really struggles more so power with righties, in which we can look there, but they really don't have righties outside of, Riley has started to turn it on. I will say, let me go with Vince here. He has started to turn it on, being Riley, so he could go here. So he's more so this 4-seamer that's getting lifted. 2 home runs against it. Looks pretty bleak here. I think Riley just homered against this recently, in which he did against Eovaldi. So that's Riley. It's just like I don't want to put too much on banking on Riley to go yard here. He could though. He has started to turn on. He is at home. He needed to do something honestly because it's been like quite bad this year. But that's the 4-seamer. Not really giving up fly ball to this cutter, but it isn't his top 3, so I'll look there. Riley looks pretty good there. 40% barrel, 30% pull air. 3 home runs there too. 4 extra base hits in his last 10 events. So that's not bad at all. I don't know. Let's see how recent that is though. So that is in his last 10 at bats against it. being the cutter. So that doesn't look bad either. And then you got this slider, which he could throw. He's given up 2 home runs against it. So Riley doesn't look too good there at all. Still a 40% fly ball there, about the most outside of Bart. Okay. I mean, he righty on righty there. Riley's probably the only one that I trust there. I mean, Dubon has been good this year. I will say that. I can't just like forget him. He has been pretty good this year, to be honest. And what was it, the four seamer? Which Dubon doesn't look good there. He does have an extra base hit. Yeah, power wise, I'm more so leaning Riley there. I will look at the left hand side because I feel like he can give it up here too. So this change up, not a high fly ball there though, I will say, but it's hot in Atlanta. That ball can carry. So the most events is with this cutter, 27 with the four seamer, 26 with the changeup. The changeup is getting hit hard though. So Olsen looks pretty good there. 2 home runs, 3 extra base hits, 1 extra base hit there for Baldwin. I'd say probably have to attack that changeup. Bank on him throwing that. He throws the cutter a bunch though, compared to like these secondary pitches. So we can look at cutter real quick just because he's throwing it compared a bunch more compared to those. 30% barrel for both Olsen and Baldwin here. The hard hit rate is good. 50% fly ball for Olsen, 40% for Baldwin. Some there for Harris too. 3 home runs for Olsen. Uh, one for Baldwin, 2 extra base hits. Possibly Olsen there for a homer. He did last series. And then he didn't. I think he did first game last series and hasn't since. So possibly either I think the first or second game of last series. But Olsen should be in play for a homer there. Outside of him, Baldwin looks pretty good to do it too. Okay, this is the left hand side still. I want to say that maybe it from the left hand side. I've started to notice this kid Perkins get hit. Like he's been getting hit for sure. Walk relief against Detroit, won 3 innings there, 2 home runs out of his 2 hits. 2 hits allowed were 2 home runs. Got shelled against Miami, 2 home runs there. Um, Granted, he was in Sacramento, but got hit up in LA. LA got to him in Sacramento. Pittsburgh got to him in Sacramento. So let's look here. Oh, it looks like it's righties or lefties. We can look at both. More so long shot home run play. I don't really trust this Arizona uh, offense at all. Marte did get it done for us yesterday, though, for sure, against Springs. So very high fly ball rate here. All this is like, let's look at all of them then. Arenado looks good against his four seamer, 2 home runs, 3 extra base hits there. I will look to see if that's recent. So it is in his last 10 at bats here against this four seamer. And then this sweeper. All looks Tawa looks pretty good there. Not quite sure who he is to be honest. I didn't see him against the four seamer, or was he 20% barrel there for him? Tawa guy might be in play here. And then this cutter, 22% barrel there for Tawa again. Honestly, I was about to say Arenado, but I mean either one of those um look good. Yeah, I want the pull area goes to Arenado, but that doesn't mean everything. Um, yeah, I'd say the whoever Tawa is he looks pretty good here. So long shot home run there with him, and then Arenado has been hitting pretty good as of late. So I would say Arenado's in play for a homer there too. If you want to go left hand side, I'll look at that real quick. So the four seamer um, is getting lifted the sweeper too. We can look there. That's where he's giving up a majority of his home runs too. And then we can look at that sweeper. So about nothing here outside of Kepler has a homer. And then 30% barrel there for Kepler. So I do like that for him. We'll see if that's recent or not. So that is recent for him in his last 10 at bats. And then the sweeper, about nothing here. Carroll has 20% barrel, 30% fly ball. Kepler 50% fly ball. Just nothing to show for it, and not really a hard hit right there. I'd say probably I'd go Carroll there home run. I think he's in the lineup. I'm pretty sure. And then Kepler should be in play for a homer there too. And then I want to say that may be it from the left hand side. I would like to attack Lopez with a lefty there against San Diego, but yeah, they're not. They're just not good. Um, and then righty wise here, got a Villa versus San Fran. I mean, they got a couple capable righties in that lineup. Ramos, um, Adams, Schmidt. So Baltimore got to him. Philly did not. So that was a good game against Philly there. Uh, White Sox got to him a bit there, 4 earned in 4 innings. Tampa Bay, not bad there against Tampa Bay. Looks like he's just getting by though, all these walks. I'll look at more so power here. I don't really like San Fran's offense as a whole. This slider he's allowing to get lifted, so we can look there. So on the year wise, Adams looks good there. Schmidt looks good. Whoever Jesus Rodriguez is, he looks good. Ramos, the underlying numbers don't look so good for him. Let's go last 10. Put them on the same sample size. So yeah, I don't know who this is. To be honest, it might be a catcher. But Barrow, Schmidt, and Adams looks the same. Pool air wise goes to Adams. He did homer yesterday. Fly ball rate, it goes to Schmidt. One more than Adams there. Same home run and extra base hits there. Let's expand that to see what's. So goes to Adams there. So he could go back to back. He went. I'm pretty sure he went last night. Let's go at bats to see if that any of those are as of late. So they are in the last 10 at bats. That's a slider. Outside of that, he's not really giving up fly ball. So, um, and then this year, I think Schmidt and Adams were about the same. Honestly, you can double back with Adams there against Avila. I probably I'd say the fly ball rate is really not there, to be honest. It's more so a long shot, but I'd say Schmidt's in play for a homer there against him. Let me see if the fly ball changes for lefties. We can look at lefties real quick. So curveball, Devers looks okay here. Gilbert looks okay. Let's go last 10 events. So Devers 2 home runs in the last 10 events. Very low fly ball there though. And then this four-seamer, he's allowing fly balls on, in which Devers looks okay there. 3 home runs. From the left side, I'd say Devers in play for a homer there. And then I really don't care for Kansas City's offense. I don't care for either one of those offenses, but they're both. I mean, from the right hand side in Kansas City, you got what's his name? Thomas has been playing pretty good. Witt should be out more than likely. So maybe Perez or Thomas to go yard there against Mile. He has given up some barrel, I do see. So Palmquist is just the opener, so we're not gonna go there much. The Mets don't necessarily care for. Sprout is giving up barrel to righties though. Um, but I can't. Bichette, maybe. That's about it there. We'll look at Peterson versus Detroit though. So for the most part, he's throwing this four seamer, throwing the sinker. Is hold on, I'm looking at home runs. Is getting some whiffs with his slider, so let's look there. Dingler, uh, let's go. Last 10 at bats. So Dingler, 20% K, 28% whiff. They all look about the same on the whiff side. 20% for Verlin K, 23% whiff. And then Torres looks about the same too. So that is the slider. That's what he's missing bats with. He looks like he's pitching a contact with his four seamer, very low swing and strike there. So 300 for Dingler, 300 for Torkelson, um, 200 for Verling, 100 for Torres in their last 10 events. I will go full year to see exactly. So Torkelson looks the best there. Dingler 281, 214 for Verling. And then the sinker looks like he's pushing a contact as well. So Torkelson looks pretty good there. Again, Dingler not so much at all. He's not Kang, but he's not necessarily. I mean, he's hitting in sweet spot too. He just doesn't have the batting average to show for it. So Torkelson looks pretty good against that sinker. I didn't see what he was doing against this slider. So yeah, he's more so a power guy. I don't necessarily trust him to put it in play. Um, Change up, Verling looks the best there as far as the K and whiff average on the batting average there. Okay, I'd probably say I trust Dingler to get a hit here. Um, Carlson doesn't look bad either. He's just he can K, and so that's something that you have to deal with him. However, he's not far off of Dingler, so I will say he's in play. And then someone who doesn't really K or whip is Verling. Just the contact is not necessarily great all the time. I mean, and we can look home run here. He has given one up in his last five starts, getting barreled up in about all of them. Looks like it's more so the sinker. The sinker's getting lifted a little bit, and which I think that's what Corson looked pretty good against. But that fly ball does not look great at all. Literally at all. Torres did just come back. He has three extra base hits against it, but he's just not lifting it. Uh, I may just stick with the hits plays that I said. But DeCrossen does not look bad against these. Just he's not lifting that sinker, in which that's what you need to do. He is lifting this changeup though. I'd say DeCrossen's in play, long shot, home run there against Peterson, and then Valdez here. Let's look at the right hand side. Let's go hits. So what was his? Okay. Hits wise, the changeup and curveball, he's getting swing and miss. So let's look there. Let's turn this off. So I'll turn it back on and got that many um, much of a sample size this year. So 18% whip for Suzuki, 10% for Horner. The batting average isn't there though, but I'm more so looking for him not to swing and miss. So I like the zone contact and the whip for Suzuki there. Changeup wise, Horner looks pretty good here, 0% K, 8% whiff, 30% K, 33% whiff for Suzuki in his last 10 at bats, so don't necessarily care for that. The zone contact still looks good there. And then you got this sinker, which is what he's pitching to contact with. 500 for Bregman looks pretty good there. 300 for Horner, 400 for Suzuki, in which he has a couple Ks there. Now I noticed that 10% K for Horner, 0% for Bregman. Honestly, hold on, I didn't even see Bregman on this curveball, or I wasn't really looking at him. He's kind of K'ing on that. The changeup, let's see. Changeup Bregman doesn't look bad here, so I was going in and thinking Horner, but I'd say Horner's still in play for a hit, but Bregman looks pretty good there too. Little bit of K on the curve, not so much on the changeup, and he's hitting the sinker the best out of them. I will open this up to see if they have more of a sample size on the year, and they do, in which Bregman and Horner look pretty good there. So I like both of those for a hit, 100% zone contact there. We already looked at Schultz, Lorenzen. We did not Liberatore. More so a home run shot, but because I don't really trust the Angels lineup to hit for an average. Want to find a way to get to Neto here. He has been hitting for much more power this year. So this curveball, he's giving up some homers here. Doesn't look good as far as fly ball there for Neto. Who's hit it? Adele has hit it. That's about it. One extra base hit there for Neto. Ohabi. I don't even know if Ohabi, like, I haven't really heard anything of him this year. 50% fly ball in his last 10 events for Neto, though, when he does put it in play. That's the curveball. Slider, it looks like Adele looks pretty good there. Siri doesn't look bad. I feel like Adele hasn't really been hitting homers this year, though. He could here. Fly ball doesn't look great there. Um, Hold on. He's barely throwing this sinker, but it is getting hit when he throws it. Very small sample sizes here. If I'm right in like this season as far as like home runs, I'd say it's more than likely Neto, but Adele has not looked bad across the pitches that we've looked at. And then okay. I think that may be it from the right hand side. I'd be wanting to attack Robeski, but Philly doesn't really have, I mean, they really don't get to left-handed pitching at all. So I don't think they necessarily do it there. They could though. We'll look at that real last one. This would be the last one real quick. Okay, so giving up more of a average to lefties. I mean, it's pretty good on both sides. He has pitched well this year. Um, the slider is getting hit and lifted, so we'll look there. Derek Hill looks good there, 20% fly ball though. I think he went yard yesterday too. Remilto looks pretty good there, 30% fly ball. 2 home runs there for Sosa, 30% fly ball for Baum. It's either that or this four seamer. The four seamer's not necessarily getting hit hard though. A couple home runs for them all here in their last 10 events. Let's go at bats to see whose is actually recent. So Sosa 2. Sosa may be in play. He's a platoon guy, being Sosa. So yeah, Sosa may be in play here. Out of the regulars that I say that haven't hit a home run lately, I don't think is Baum. So I'd go Sosa platoon guy. I'd to go yard there, and then possibly Baum. I think he's batting cleanup. But yeah, I think that's it for today. But I want to thank you guys for tuning in. I thank you for your support. If you can, like and subscribe to the channel. If you have any questions with the platform, please let me know. Drop it in the comments below. I hope you guys have a great day. See you guys.